We must start at the beginning. The Big Bang is still happening. Time is expansion. The universe is expanding. If we need to address an issue in real life, we have to apply the scientific method to each particular case. Time, being expansion, can be demonstrated and observed all around us. Understanding that time itself began with the Big Bang indicates that we can only examine the events that are in the past until now. We must dispel the visualization of arrows of time and instead think of Stephen Hawking's cones of events. And we observers are also expanding from the past into now, like this picture you see. The next picture shows the observer imagining the future, but the problem is that we cannot predict the future, as this would require all of the data from the past to be included in the calculation. This is made clear by the following picture that shows the cones of events progressing into the future from the past, and that past is getting relatively smaller. This picture shows the duration of awareness of the observer who is expanding with the universe. This next picture is looking back in time through cones of events, but this cannot be true to reality. That is not only three-dimensional, but solid and cannot be drawn or modelled. However, instruments can record and transmit the data from elsewhere to the observer, allowing calculations to be made about the past. And in this picture you can see the cones of events. This is the best I can do in drawing of it, and you can see right at the bottom is the Big Bang, which is the start of time, because time is expansion. Time began with an idea that caused expansion. Solid cones of events consisting of mass and space filled the time until now, and we are creating the past by our activities. As you can see in this picture, there's me at the moment, and there's me a couple of years ago, and then there's me with doing obediac way back in time in Nigeria. And this is how it works. The further we look back in time, we are looking into ourselves, because we are expanding, and the expansion includes us as we were then. The future must be nothing, or the universe could not expand. Before time, there must have been nothing, because time consists of cones of events, and an event takes time. All energy comes from the Big Bang in the form of the forces that we can measure: gravity, combustion, and the strong nuclear force. At the start of the expansion of mass and space was restricted due to the available volume and the expansion of particles combined with the energy of compressed gravity, chemical combustion and nuclear fusion caused particles of different numbers to form atoms. This resulted in the known natural elements and heavenly bodies, stars and planets and all that stuff. Expansion allows change, that is relational movement, and this is resulting in chemical reactions that allow the formation of living cells morphing into intelligent beings. There's Abdul Buhari in Ghana, and there is Hamid in Yemen, and there is Emmanuel Oji in Nigeria, and there are some elephants in Kenya, and there is Michael in Nigeria, and camels, and all the living things that have evolved by expansion and chemical reactions. We are limited in what we can measure with the instruments we can use in field work pertaining to corrosion control. Presently, we use meters that can only measure the difference between two electrical potentials and display the results in volts and amps. This is Gibbs free energy, and that proves that there cannot be a void in energy, and therefore we cannot measure a negative energy. In this picture, the instrument is showing on the left-hand side a negative value. And we as corrosion engineers and scientists must understand that this is not negative electricity. It is just that the meter has said that at this point of balance of the both sides of the meter, this is 247 millivolts on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side there will be nothing. So the value that we're reading is the electrical potential as determined by the meter, and it is all positive energy. We are told that molecules are made up of atoms that are made up of smaller particles that are orbiting other particles, like Earth orbits the Sun and the Moon orbits the Earth. We are told that these orbits are controlled by the force of momentum and that of the attraction of gravity. Newton described these laws that have been modified by Einstein, Hawking and others using data gathered by the Large Hadron Collider and the James Webb Telescope. However, these theories do not match real observations. So my theory that time is expansion is valid for scientific discussion. This leads us to apply the laws of nature to real life in a different way. Man-made laws must include a clause that if anyone protected by these laws chooses to break them, their protection ends, and that the community can apply the laws of nature to punish the rebel. The effect of this, in the case of Israel, would be that the international community would have the right to commit genocide to Israel. The effect of this on Russia, with respect to Ukraine, would be exactly what is happening now. The science behind all weapons is the control of the energy of expansion, and weapons enable dictators to kill and destroy from the comfort of luxurious lives. Social structures that sustain this system is called capitalism and relies on the general belief in money. Belief in money drove millions of people to work in the projects that built the Large Hadron Collider and launched James Webb Space Telescope. The government thinks they create money out of thin air, but a scientist knows that people are money, because without the work and value of people, there is no way they can control energy that allows millions of people to function as a community. Investing in explosions is fruitless, but investing in understanding brings a better life to everyone. A CPN head office will bring together the people with the skills to control the corrosion that is presently causing pipelines to leak and costing billions of pounds. A computer using binary logic and layered spreadsheet techniques, that's relational databases, can accurately plot the exact position of any point in space without the distortion of perspective, as seen in this picture. Bitmap pictures plot every pixel in this way, and I have just plotted this picture on spreadsheets. We can therefore use this tool to validate every assumption in science that involves perspective and mathematics. Computers are already used in accounting of the distribution of wealth and gambling involved in the free market economy. We are money, and time is expansion clarifies all activities in the world at present, and the next video will explain more of this in detail. So please give the thumbs up and like and subscribe to this channel on YouTube, and if you are interested in further videos, then you can become a member by joining Patreon. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it.